major differences between these two as well. I mean, Fibonacci.
Well, here's the difference.
Yeah, we know that his warrior's control. We know that his warlock is control.
Is it really control? It's Dragon Warrior.
Dragon's pretty control-ish. I mean, I guess more of a mid-range style
yeah,
of build.
It's pretty. I mean, it's pretty liberal to say it's control.
I feel like it's control.
I don't think so.
All right. Well,
I think it's more of a mid-range deck.
We'll agree to disagree here. I agree it is very mid-rangey, but it doesn't. The really
I mean,
only
no
burst
copies
from this
of
one.
Brawl.
Yeah, the only real burst from this deck is going to be Grom, and that's it. Other than that, it just wants to just kill stuff and play stuff.
But to touch on the no Brawl, I mean, against Patron, that's a problem.
Draconid Crusher, we didn't see that earlier.
Yeah, I'm not sold on that one yet, but I guess with no BGH, maybe. Right, the fact that that's in his deck kind of signifies it's not control. That's an aggressive card.
You're selling me. You're selling me.
know.
Look, I'm listening now.
Now, we didn't see much of this deck. We saw it win once yesterday, but all we saw of Fibonacci was his Reno lock deck not getting the job done yesterday. He did fight his way back through the loser's bracket off stream, but we're going to have to see. I mean, in this matchup, how well Dragon Warrior fares against Patron Warrior. Never really casted this one, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's been quite a while since I've seen Dragon Warrior played outside of this weekend with Fibonacci. I mean, but with Standard being a new format, you know, people are going to have to innovate if they want to come up with new builds. Blood to Ichor showing you why it's such a favored card. I mean, normally this slot was Cruel Taskmaster, but Blood to Ichor is just... I mean, the fact that it doesn't give power to your opponent's menu and deal damage makes it so good. Acolyte, of course, will threaten some card advantage for Firebat side. Fibonacci, that Blackwing Technician, a couple of them now. All right, this is looking like a smooth pan out here.
Yep.
For Fibonacci.
When the Dragon decks curve out, they curve out.
Yeah, Firebat looking a little slim on resources here.
He's got Battle Rage, but he's not damaged himself, which is a lot harder to do now, unless your opponent directly attacks you, no Despite.
I'm curious if he wants to play this Armor Smith prior to the double Inner Rage, simply so he can get himself damaged. I mean, because with that Inner Rage pointed at the Acolyte, I can only imagine he's going for double Inner Rage and trade into this Blackwing Technician. Yeah, which is exactly what he's going to do. And that's when Firebat goes 5 to face.
Ignores the 2-1.
That's going to do it. Fibonacci locks it up. You know, Bloodhoof Brave, kind of like the little brother of Twilight Guardian.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, little brothers can get mighty angry.
Yeah. If you beat them up a bit, they'll come back stronger.
Yeah. I never did that to my brothers, of course.
Same.
I just got beat
because I don't have brothers.
So not much going on this turn. I'd be astonished if this
I mean,
Armor
could
Smith
you use the same emote here?
Maybe. It's pretty same.
I feel like you could. Okay, you definitely can.
Okay, that's a Dazaw's first mate.
Yeah.
We have not seen that card so far. And it's actually pretty good here.
Yeah, just to speak of it a bit, it is just a one-of, I believe, in his list. And
working pretty well.
It's kind of like an execute enabler. Just does well in these situations where that one extra combat damage is going to help.
It helped immensely too. I mean, the cost of 5 life to just chew through a 5 power taunt. And a 1/1 to boot. This is looking tough for Firebat.
And it's a pirate. So in theory, we could call this Pirate Dragon Warrior.
Confirmed. Definitely. I mean, this is an ugly looking spot. Those guys, 3/6 taunt is no joke. 3/6 taunt for 4 is really no joke.
Yeah, I'd play my Fin Creepers for 4.
Yeah, Fin Creepers 4, I would play it in every deck. That card would be insane.
Of course.
That card would be Piloted Shredder.
And dragons can definitely feel pretty rough to play against when they do get the curve. I mean, kind of their
Azaw's first mate is going to continue to make some headway. Firebat just looking to beef up this Crawling Berserker, make sure that when it's attacked, it still trades very efficiently.
Kobe.
It's a pretty good one. I mean, that's about as good as it gets.
Wait. Huh. So he could go attack into the Froth.
I mean, that's about as good as it gets.
Wait. Huh. So he could go attack into the Frothing and then Blackwing it? Yeah.
Yeah, I like
I was about to say, he was thinking of armor, but that would buff the Frothing, and I feel like your life's more important
Than Firebat's
than
extra
Firebat's
life.
extra life. Yeah, especially when Battle Rage is a card, then gaining him 1 extra is not even that bad of a thing. Like now he can't, he could have Fiery Rorax into something and then raged anyway.
This is a tough spot.
Yeah, it's so control. This is such a control.
Look at the control he has.
Wow.
He's got great control right now.
He's so far behind on board.
Patron turns are probably going to be a little bit late here. And that being said, Firebat still has 34 life, so I feel like he's got some time.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's just a matter of if with all the time in the world he can ever bring this board state back, because when Patron falls behind, they got 2 executes, they got weapons, but like, those are their value cards. The rest is all kind of based on killing 2 1s or 1 health minions in general and making patrons.
Yeah, it's a lot of utility and then a couple hammers.
Like, so many of your cards are based around beating small aggressive strategies, not big beefy mid-range dragons.
Yeah.
And this is where Deathbite is sorely missed. Like, that could clean up this board state really well.
I mean, that being replaced by Ravaging Ghoul, I mean, it really is not going to get the job done here. So Fibonacci gets his, even Alex draws a champion. All right, it's aggro.
Come on, dude. Like,
I'm convinced.
oh, man. Oh, look at him control the life total. Yeah, he's controlling it right down to 20.
He could even take it on 19 if he wanted.
He's got that much control. The control warrior god.
Yeah, Armor Smith gonna pad the life total a little bit here, add to the battle rage. So execute.
He's gonna clear up a lot. So interesting to note. Could go for Whirlwind here. It would work. That's an interaction that works right now. If Whirlwind kills your Wild Pyro, it still procs.
I don't know if Firebat knows that right now.
I don't think he knows.
Yeah. Either
But
way,
either way,
draws.
Whirlwind's going to come down next turn.
Yeah.
And he might just want the draws anyway.
Now, that being said,
He's going to take 6 extra, though, because of this.
and that's
That's no joke.
3, 6, 9, 10 damage. I mean, Fibonacci can activate that Draconid Crusher if he wanted to.
If he wanted to. I guess he's not going to.
Just gonna take it slow. Wants the extra
Really
card
gets
draw.
this board in control.
See, it is control.
Man.
I wonder if Firebat can pull this back. I mean, this is a big patron turn.
Man, it is. What if he just Nefarian's Brawl?
I mean, I don't know if Nefarian Brawl's gonna be enough. This is gonna be a lot of patrons.
Wow. And the Battle Rage really set up for this. Never mind clearing the board. I think you were right about taking that extra bit of damage.
And it's only gonna be 5 patrons here. As that Blood to Ichor, that spawn is occupying board space at the moment. I say only 5 patrons.
Clear off 2. He can clear off 3 now. Of course, he would not be leaving anything around besides 2 patrons. He could leave behind 2 3/2 patrons if he went full board control, and then he could play a 6/6. That's not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad.
That's kind of what I'm thinking about too.
I think he got a Nefarian Brawl.
I mean, you might have to. I mean, look at the Fire Blast is going to keep propagating.
Yes.
So
So, okay, say he goes bash 6/6, which he's thinking about. That leaves 2 3/2s. Firebat at worst goes ping a 3/2, trade, and still leaves a patron that you can't deal with.
this is bad news.
And that's at worst.
We're going face, boys.
Wait, that was a strict mistake. He just missed a 9/9.
Playing around BGH maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you recognize
There
it
it
now.
is.
15, 19.
Not used to playing with Draconid Crusher.
23 available for Firebat this turn.
He still has a rip for game.
Yeah, I mean, an activator for Grom. You know, Firebat doesn't have armor up anymore.
Still, though, having a 9/9 would force more patron trades, so it's very important. So you said he had 23? Well, now he can't play the axe.
Yep.
Yeah, can't do it. And didn't draw any damage anyway.
And this board.
You got to be looking to set up 2-turn lethal here. You can't give him another draw for that Grom activator or the Grom.
That's what that Frothing Berserker's going to be used for.
Yeah. So it's got to be a Grom activator and a Grom activator only.
Blood to Ichor. Like the play. Trade. Behind the base.
Oh, man.
This lethal is set up. I mean, could use Grom to trade it, but that will give away his win condition. Fibonacci needs a Grom activator and a Grom activator only. 7.
3/3 charge. Could you save yourself? I mean, it would buff. You take 1 damage off the board with that. Right now, you're staring down a lot. 18.
Yeah, I'm just going to use Grom to clear here. That's going to put the writing on the wall, I think. I mean,
Yep, I would tend to agree. I mean, Firebat's got more ways to
9,
make
11,
patrons.
12, 13, only 15, 16 damage available.
And there's a taunt.
I'm just going to take this one slow. Or slow, quote unquote. How about 6 patrons and a Fiery War Axe?
How about it?
It's pretty good.
Nefarian Prep Frost Nova. Kappa.
Yeah, Fibonacci going to scoop this one up. Firebat takes game number 1 with Warrior. A massive comeback in the middle of that game. You know, enough whirlwind effects, enough combat damage, just able to clear the board down and make a bunch of patrons.
Yeah. Patron Warrior is really good, it turns out.
It is super strong looking
Yeah.
still. I wonder actually if losing Deathspite and losing some of the more control-oriented interactions and kind of forcing them into this more aggressive line could be a benefit.
I think it's a stretch to say like the deck is overall more powerful. I think it's more just that every other deck lost so much that in relation to other decks, Patron is incredibly good still.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about that. I mean, the fact that there's just, I mean, no Nerubian Egg is a big deal
Yeah.
versus Patron.
You're never whirlwinding into a 4/4 now.
Yeah, and that's something to think about. Firebat just, man, that every single time we've seen Patron Warrior, we've seen it from behind and we've seen it from ahead. The deck is just so good.
Yeah.
Like
And
even in the game with Neo Ability versus Talion, Talion was able to clean up the entire board. Now Neo Ability's reload was still super strong, but we've seen Patron get way ahead, recover from way behind,
Yeah.
reload onto the board, completely dominate the game. The deck's been doing everything.
Watch your
Except losing.
This is going to be Rogue versus Dragon Warrior. Firebat's got 2 copies of Shadow Strike. As we saw earlier in the tournament, he had Sousy Deckhand, 2 Cold Bloods, and a Faceless Manipulator in this build.
Yep. Very kind of combo-oriented build. And you were saying you kind of like this because, saying like the mirror match, you know, you're kind of going blow for blow, trading your guys. It's very, because Rogue kind of struggles to close. We've seen Miracle Rogue. You can go through your deck very easily.
Yeah.
Now, getting the damage to close, it's been hard. But when you run Sousy double Cold Blood Faceless, it's usually, you have an okay time closing.
Yeah, it's 20 damage for 8 mana from hand.
Yep, and with the Zeral Toxins, it could be even more.
Yeah, with the +3 power on it.
Yeah.
So you look at 26 in that instance. But
32
if you got
if you
2
get
of
2
them,
of them.
yeah. You can just 30-0 someone. Now I gotta play this deck to make it happen.
Sousy Deckhand created a strategy.
Bit of a slow start, does hang on to Sinister Shadow Strike, rather.
All right, he didn't coin a 3/3 charge. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is control.
Paying particular attention to the curve. Fiery War Axe, one of the best tools that Warrior has to handle Rogue. Takes out SI 7 Agent, takes out Earthring Farseer, and in the games where it's not really doing much, represents 6 points of damage. I mean, that's 6 that's already been dealt now.
I'd play that card.
Honestly, this damage is going to add up really quickly.
Yeah, he's controlling
the life total.
Yeah.
Yep. Sinister. I'm always going to call this Sinister Strike.
Sinister Strike.
Shadow Strike.
Whoa, how that Sinister Strike hit a minion.
He could have gone face with it.
He could have.
Yep, this will be coin Azure Drake for Fibonacci. Just pick up an extra card. There's that Zeril. Same. Edwin Van Cleef too. There's a lot of scary minions in this Rogue deck.
Yeah, and there is a little bit of healing, so.
There we see the Firebat special. Always play the cards I have available to do things.
Yep. Always wants to have initiative. On a little low on health, but Rogue tends to do that.
Yeah, I mean, kind of a weak hand here from Fibonacci. Can't answer this Drake.
Yeah.
Decent turn, get a 2/2 on board. Get some value for the Fiery War Axe. This is this point where Firebat's going to be looking for Gadgets and Auctioneer, I imagine.
You think so?
Yeah. Pretty critical card in this strategy.
I don't know.
I mean, he's got the best deals anywhere.
Well, like self-proclaimed. Like, have you ever seen any of the Yelp reviews for Gadgets and Auctioneer?
This place is a ripoff.
I didn't draw any preps.
Blackwing Corruptor and Dissolve's first mate. Add any power to the board you can. You gotta keep Rogue under pressure. This is one of the ways you can fend off this build, is if you just keep minions going the entire time. It's a difficult thing to do because they have so many disruption tools.
Yeah.
But if a minion gets in one hit and they use a removal spell, that's value trade.
Yeah, and I mean, even if just this 1/1 and 2/2 and the weapon keep pushing, you're slowly getting there.
With a loss of Sludge Belcher, loss of Antique Healbot, the deck doesn't do as good a job of protecting its life total as it used to.
I believe that's the draw a card toxin.
Looks like it.
Not terrible here. In fact, just gonna cycle it right now.
There's that Auctioneer. But he's gonna have to fend off the board pressure first.
More damage, but it's a little awkward because, you know, you can't get that all out at
It's
once.
like the old muster for battle versus true silver champion conundrum.
Yep.
I'm thinking Bash is gonna happen this turn.
What now?
To face?
No,
You
not
gotta
to face.
control the life totals.
I mean, maybe to face.
Maybe.
I mean, he does have 15 damage over the next 5 turns with those weapons and that Bash.
To me.
Yep, safe play. Which one is that one?
I don't know.
It's +3 attack. So plenty of damage for Firebat, but he's got to fend off the board first.
Okay. Well,
Here we go.
let's see how good these deals are.
That's a pretty good one.
I don't know.
I'll take drawing a card.
I want prep.
Well,
Okay.
ask and you shall receive.
How good is Gadgets and Auctioneer?
Shadow Strike the 1/1. I mean, this is Firebat. He draws, he just plays his stuff. It's kind of like, it's oversimplified almost.
Oh, that's Malkarok.
I haven't seen that one
Come on.
too much.
Doomhammer.
Not Curse Blade. Not Curse Blade.
If it's Curse Blade, he could just die. What is it?
Looks like a
Eagle Horn Bow?
Power Mace, maybe? Eagle Horn Bow?
You
No,
can't
Power
get,
Mace is
you
out,
can't
yeah.
get Power Mace.
Eagle Horn Bow.
It's a 3/2
Yeah.
with an effect. Oh, is it? No, I don't know. Only thing I can think of is Eagle Horn Bow.
Yeah.
But I'm just a hunter player. Yeah,
Got him.
So many
Gets spotted a mile away.
same.
Somebody says face damage and Chalky appears. Don't lead with Fan of Knives. I mean, this Malkorok needs to be answered.
There's no answer to it right now.
Not right now, no.
Not when you Shadow Strike a 1/1.
That's a welcome draw.
And it gets to make a 6/6.
Yeah, I believe that's going to be Edwin Van Cleef.
Yo, he's going to lose to Onyxia. Maybe. He
might.
could just kill him on the back end. Yeah. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Right now he's got
17,
20 next turn.
Yeah, 20 with the dagger.
If he can get it all off, which he can. So he's got 20. And Onyxia comes down. Firebat is 1 off lethal.
Needs a point of damage here.
No.
That's not it.
Can't charge anything, so. What
I think Firebat's dead.
What does he do? Do you SI your own Blood Mage? But what could you draw? Maybe you just have to Auctioneer.
Get the second fan, get a sap.
Get Prep. Prep, kill him. I don't know what's left in his deck to kill him, though. He's used both Abysses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely the play, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he can't kill him, so he's got to dig.
In some way, this is the play. He can't dagger. He doesn't have the mana to dagger.
There's a sap.
There's sap. That keeps him alive.
No, it doesn't. There's the Grom.
Oh, there's Grom, yeah. Well, you got to do it. Maybe you draw a Prep Fan. God, that'd be good. He was thinking about cold blooding.
No, that's not going to do it.
Yeah, this Gadgetan Auctioneer's deal's not as good.
Is he attacking a minion?
It doesn't change anything. That's so weird.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Fibonacci going to close up game number 2.
Yep.
Firebat, despite the card draws and despite handling all the minions, just took too much damage in the end. Fibonacci going to tie the series up in 1 game apiece.
Really glad he could pull off that Control Warrior play style.
Control Warrior. Look at all the top end minions, even Malkorok in the build. The only real Malkorok play I've made so far is I got it from Undercity Huckster, and I had a Buccaneer in play, and I got a Doomhammer from the Malkorok.
And I don't like Malkorok, man. I
Why
don't
not?
know. He wasn't that good there.
I think it was fine.
He had,
Dealt 6
he had a
damage.
Fiery War Axe anyway.
Dealt 6 damage.
What if it was
Forced some
just-
action.
What if it was just a Kor'kron
He
Elite?
forced an Eviscerate. If he didn't force the Eviscerate, Firebat would have had lethal.
A Kor'kron Elite would have killed him.
That's not the point.
That is the point. The
point
point
is
is Kor'kron would have been better.
Malkorok, MVP of that game.
Do it.
Best card in the game. Calling it right now. 1 game apiece for these guys. It's going to be Rogue and Warlock left for Fibonacci versus Rogue and Mage for Firebat. And with Reno Warlock in the build, I mean, how good is that versus Freeze Mage?
Reno Warlock. I mean, we're going to have to see some of the card choices he went with, but I know a very common way to shore up that matchup was just throwing a Kazan Mystic, and that's not a thing anymore.
Yeah. I mean, maybe
There's-
Eater of Secrets, but
Yeah.
stealing the Ice Block was the key part of that card.
Here's the big deal. Kazan was not that bad because Secret Paladin was a thing, and stealing their Revenge on turn 4 was usually pretty okay. And besides that, Hunter was at least somewhat played, and it always played Secrets. Now, not only is Hunter not that good as far as top-level competitive, it doesn't always play Secrets even.
Yeah.
So
You
Eater of
asked for it.
Secrets is positioned pretty poorly right now, in my opinion.
Now, what about Rogue versus Freeze Mage?
Yeah, and this is a weird rogue list. Like, you just saw Dark Iron Sculptor, and here's Harrison Jones, and this is a Malagos rogue.
Yeah.
So quite a bit of attack.
Looking for that big burst at the end of the game. It's going to be a lot of card drawing. I mean, back and forth is a card draw. It's going to be.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the #1 thing in this matchup, I think.
Firebat's got to be happy to see Alex Straza already. I mean, you don't need it this early, but knowing you have it, it's a little bit of a comfort.
Yeah, defines the game plan just a little bit more.
Yeah.
So Fibonacci likely to have to be the aggressor in this matchup.
Freeze Mage, its best matchup by far this tournament has been Rogue at 69%. So Fibonacci gonna hope to be on the lower side of that and beat the odds.
Work cut out for him for sure. It's looking like Tomb Pillager.
Thank you.
These are great turns for Firebat though. Pyroblast joins. I mean, with the coin in hand as well. Ice Block's already drawn. 2 copies of Frost Nova. Added Ice Lance to it. I mean, with time, this hand will kill Fibonacci.
Yeah, that's the problem. Fibonacci definitely has to be the aggressor. And honestly, I feel like that Malagos Rogue, I mean, if you get through the early game, it's probably better at closing because Sinister Strike and Shivs and the such go through taunts. But otherwise, I think just Cold Bloods are better for ending the game. If you can stick a minion 1 turn and pop a block when they aren't expecting it.
Double draw here from this Acolyte of Pain. 3 freeze effects now. I mean, it's going to be really tough for minions to make a big impact.
Firebat's going to be able to stall this game for a long time. Right now, he just has like too much stuff almost.
So set for the Ice Block. Just another Tomb Pillager.
Yeah, I mean, it is decent amount of pressure. The problem is it can probably be dealt with, and then where do you go from there?
It's looking tough. I mean, I wonder if even Shadow Strike might have been right that turn. Take him from 30 to 24 and then attack.
That doesn't sound that bad. You can Shadow Strike SI.
Let the pain speak to me.
Yeah.
Journey from below as well. We've seen 1 copy of it in a couple of the Malagos Rogue builds.
Yeah, now there's not too many Death Rattle cards that we were able to think of that can save you.
Yeah.
Not any healing effects, really.
Hey, Zeryl's not too bad.
Tomb Pillager's not too bad
Yeah,
either.
I think the pressure's worth more, honestly.
So getting something off this, no matter what.
There's Deadly Poison. Zeryl's coming down. Is this a trade? I think it is. Wants to deny card draws.
There's +3 attack. That's good.
He's got to connect with a minion, though, and it's going to be a long time before that happens.
And when he does, there's probably going to be a nice barrier waiting.
Yeah, but Fireball joins the party. Yeah, Firebat can just take his time.
Yeah. Well, I wonder. Yeah.
Yeah, with the Fireball drawn, all he's got to do is keep damage off the board.
And he's even going to overdraw Fibonacci, I believe. Yep.
Yeah, useless
Not a bad
overdraw.
one. Of course, it's just more the
That belongs in a museum.
knowing your opponent's not going to draw anything that turn than what really gets overdrawn.
Is this a coin, Alex?
I mean, it's certainly a small risk.
Yeah, I mean, nope.
There's a chance.
I think coin, Alex. Fireball, set another block if it gets popped, and then Pyroblast.
I'm not actually sure. I think maybe
The threat of Earthen Ring Farseer.
yeah. Right now his hand doesn't beat Earthen Ring, so I think maybe an Ice Barrier, Loot Hoarder, Frost Nova, delay it a turn, then go for it. You get a couple extra draws from the Loot Hoarder and just the extra turn. You get the extra health, so it's harder to pop you in the first place. And yeah, just in general, I mean, it's going to basically just the extra time to find more burn to beat Earthen Ring Farseer. And it also saves the coin.
It's a more effective way of using Alex Straza.
So in theory, he can actually draw the second Fireball and go Fireball, Fireball, coin, Ice Block, even if he gets popped, and then win with the Pyro.
It's not getting popped this turn, that's for sure.
Yep. Whereas, you know, had he just gone for it, sap on Alex Straza, pop the block, say go, you Fireball, Ice Block, Earthen Ring Farseer, you'd probably lose to. Definitely something that Firebat considered and decided to play around.
Sap on the Loot Hoarder honestly is not that bad.
How much damage does he have though? 13, 16. He had 19 damage this turn, honestly, with the all the spell power.
He's gonna start attacking as well. Knows he has to get through that ice barrier.
Yep. Gonna use the Abyss while he can for the extra spell power.
I think he's gonna use all the spells while he can.
Yep. So Earthen Ring Farseer almost certainly needed to be picked up here in the next turn by Fibonacci.
It's a really unspectacular animation for the 4 damage. Yeah, but there's that Alex draws. Fibonacci set to 15. I mean, I honestly, I think this has to be Earthen Ring Farseer.
Yep, he's gonna have some draws to do it, and he actually has a turn to do it. Well, I don't know, man. I don't even know if Earthen Ring is gonna save him with all the draw Firebat has. So ridiculous.
My point is it kind of has to be Earthen Ring Farseer.
Oh, it definitely has to be.
That's not it.
It's kind of interesting he didn't sack his Blood Mage. I don't know about that. That's an extra draw that he now can't get. Firebat's not going to give him free access to it, I can guarantee you that. And he has no way to kill his own Blood Mage, so...
Yeah, we'll pop the block at 1.
There's also always a possibility that there is no Earthen Ring Farseer in this
That's
deck.
definitely a possibility.
You got to cut things to fit Harrison Jones and the like.
There's the ice block. This is going to be Fireball, ice block at least for Firebat.
Yeah, coupled with Arcane Intellect probably.
Yep. The Arcane. Seeing if we can get anything better off of this.
Yeah, Blood Mage doesn't do anything, so it will be an Earthen Ring Farseer draw for the game, I guess.
I mean, Firebat's trying to figure out a way to play around that, and there just isn't one at this point, I don't think.
There can't be.
If Earthen Ring Farseer gets drawn, maybe he digs for Crossbolt Ice Lance exactly.
Yes, he can still win off those, but...
Sap's not going to do it. Firebat's going to lock up game number 3.
Yep.
And a 2-1 lead for him as he takes down Rogue with Freeze Mage. So Rogue left for Firebat, and Rogue and Warlock left for Fibonacci. And Fibonacci's going to need 2 straight games if he wants to take this series and keep his tournament hopes alive.
It's going to have to be taken off Firebat's... does he have Rogue left?
Yeah, Rogue is the last deck left.
Yep.
And man, it's going to be a tough one too. I really feel like in that mirror match that the Southsea deckhand, 2 Cold Bloods and Faces Manipulator gets a lot done in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, the Malagos strategy in general is pretty slow. Takes a long time to get all that off.
Yeah. But enough card draws and enough time to be able to do anything. We want to take this time to mention the sponsors and the production team for this. So raise your MSi swords. We want to give a big shout out to MSi for sponsoring this event. The #1 in gaming wave swords. Those 2 right there. ESL for the great production of this one, and of course for EGLX for hosting this major for us, and for the viewers for being so awesome over the weekend. Man, this has been such a good tournament. I've had such a blast seeing the Whispers of the Old God stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little unfulfilled until we saw the triple Old God lineup. Now I'm just feeling great.
Oh, it's been such a good weekend so far. So game number 4. Yeah, Malagos Rogue versus Cold Bloods. I mean, you kind of said it earlier too. I feel like Cold Bloods just do a better job at ending the game. Like the Malagos Rogue, I think, gives you reach from a different angle, but Cold Bloods are just so efficient.
Yeah, the Malagos
helped him build that tournament-like experience so he could compete.
Yep, get practice wherever you can, definitely something that he would do.
Yeah, Malagos Rogue versus Cold Bloods. I mean, you kind of said it earlier too. I feel like Cold Bloods just do a better job at ending the game. Like the Malagos Rogue, I think, gives you reach from a different angle, but Cold Bloods are just so efficient.
Yeah, the Malagos, it has some nice tricks. I mean, Malagos Prep Fan is going to clear a board. Malagos, sometimes against like decks like Zoo, you just play Malagos as a 4-12 and threaten game.
Yeah.
But in a matchup like this where that's not possible, Cold Bloods are just more independently good.
That is a Senjin Shield Master in Fibonacci's build.
And
We're going way back for that one.
Yeah, I mean, and that's an interesting card. You almost wonder if that's kind of his way of defending against aggression, is to play that instead of Earthen Ring Farseer. I mean, I don't know.
I'll tell you that Shadow Strike answered quite nicely.
Yeah.
Second Gadgets and Auctioneer. I mean, that is like effectively a dead draw.
Yep. We have seen those appear in pairs a lot this weekend.
Yeah, they travel in packs, just like Doom cards.
That is correct.
Pretty dead hand for Firebat, but as we see over and over again, just play your card. 3-3 is good enough. Getting that with backstab and a poke. And he does have Earthen Ring Farseer in here as well. So Fibonacci going to go back to 30.
Yep.
It's looking like a Shadow Strike.
Yeah, a little inefficient, but gotta use what you gotta use. Hand very clunky right now for Firebat.
That's going to be Senjin. And that would be a bit of concern. I mean, you think to yourself, I just used Shadow Strike.
Yeah. Maybe just Faceless and use the same emote.
It's going to be Azure Drake. Well, that prep with that Gadgets and Auctioneer is looking pretty darn good right now.
Yeah, for sure.
So SI Eviscerate on that Azure Drake. So a good board presence built here for Fibonacci. It's starting to connect with some damage now. Every point really matters a lot in this matchup.
Yeah, ultimately this is kind of just a race matchup.
I got the best deals anywhere.
Oh, this prep is so important.
Wow.
That's
yeah,
about the
that's
best
what
one
you
you're
gotta
gonna get.
use.
I was waiting for the second prep.
Yeah, same. Unlucky. I like how Miracle Rogue, you just kind of expect the 1 in 20. You're just like, yeah, he's gonna draw it.
This is a good turn here for Fibonacci as well, though. Auctioneer coin Journey below, and to set up a trade on that Gadgets and Auctioneer himself.
Yeah, you see both players taking pretty weak Auctioneers. I mean, one just got a lot better, but yeah,
Those are good death rattles.
Zeril or Blood Mage would work just fine here.
Now the question here is, do you want to prep sap on this Gadgets and Auctioneer, or do you want to clear it? Because it is 2 extra card draws.
I'm prepping every time here.
Yeah, prep sap.
I'm at least prepping, like, to try. If I get nothing, yeah, I'd sap, but I guess with Malagos, preps are worth a little more,
Yeah, that's definitely true.
but
I'll tell you what, Faceless Eviscerate's an interesting play.
Many wonderful voices.
That's effectively a conceal for Firebat. It's going to be able to hide that Auctioneer next turn.
jeez.
This is shaping up very nicely for him. Fibonacci, not a real answer to this Zero right now. And how does he get the assault going?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta feel like Fibonacci has to be the aggressor here, because if they just keep both answering and drawing, kind of like you've talked about, eventually Firebat's just gonna 20 out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, okay, South Sea, Cold Blood, Faceless, game.
So many wonderful voices.
Draws the poison toxin, or draws the 2 damage toxin from Zeril, so can't answer the opposing Zeril.
Good prep it out, play Van Cleef.
I mean, that might be what he's looking at.
It's not the greatest prep in the world, but you're also kind of having to put your opponent on no sap making that play.
He's got to get something going.
He's gotta, yeah, he's the aggressor.
Yeah.
So
Prep sap and Van Cleef, wants that extra 2 damage.
technically this is even more aggressive. You deny a toxin, you keep 2 damage. which is 3 damage with the Azure Drake.
There's no sap in Firebat's hand currently either.
Yeah, right now that 8/8 is connecting. He's got some draws. Wow.
Just instantly grabs the Auctioneer. I can't blame him. I mean,
Yeah.
this stealth, I don't want to say this threatens lethal, but it kind of does.
It's not lethal, but I know what you mean.
The extra card draw
Yeah,
pressure
yeah,
next
yeah.
turn. I mean, Fibonacci cannot
He's on
answer
4
this.
cards. Fibonacci's on 4.
Yeah. And so
Fibonacci's just going to draw second fan and second prep.
it's possible.
Easy. Looks
12,
like
13,
a
17.
face strategy to me.
He's got 18, 19 damage total available this turn. And I think he might go for it.
Well, I think he's going to get the dagger up in, if anything. Oh my god, he could go for it.
How many cards are left in that deck? Because I think that may be his best chance to win.
Look at him thinking about it. He's like, oh, okay.
I mean, I think it's a good play, honestly. Like, leaving up this Gadgetzan Auctioneer.
What's the opportunity cost? Not much.
No, not at all. A dagger? Yeah, fan of
Goes
eyes.
up for the Kobe. No.
Connects for 11, though. Oh, my. That is bad news for Fibonacci.
Good old Rogue. There's the sap. Probably the best way to deal with an 8/8.
Deadly poison. So that's 11 damage now.
Yeah.
Needs to find 14 more. I mean, this is not impossible.
Needs to find 14 more.
It's not impossible. I mean, this deck does some disgusting things.
Yeah.
I think at this point, since you didn't draw any extra damage, you slow down a little bit and aim to keep your board control.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Malagos Rogue's going to do 16 out of nowhere.
There's a South Sea.
Draw second Cold Blood. That is
Size
threatening
7
12.
Yeah, I think the Shiv is going to look better here simply for the extra card draw, but Firebat knows that with Blade Fury pretty much out of the format, that SI 7 agent
Gonna
is
stick.
be threatening, yeah. Looks like he's going to attack here as well, but yep. So why not?
All right, well. What do you really do here? Obviously,
I mean, Azure Drake fan's not looking bad.
yeah. You could even clear if you wanted. You got the +3 attack one. That's the other one, right?
Also just 2 damage on the Auctioneer, fan, and SI 7 agent.
Yeah.
It's 1 mana off of getting that big Edwin pick on board again. I suppose you could leave up the Blood Mage and go Toxin, Eviscerate.
I mean, you could make an 8/8 Edwin and clear everything. You'd have to use Eviscerate, though.
Yeah. This is tough. And at 14, I don't think he feels very comfortable about this board state.
It's like Fan, SI, and the 2 damage.
It's an Eviscerate. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8 damage at least.
Yeah, he doesn't have a dagger up. So Cold Blood is not going to be lethal.
This one's getting close.
Not a bad draw, honestly.
I mean, I kind of just touched on being at 14 is not very comfortable.
Yeah. Firebat knows that Fibonacci is very likely just out of defensive cards. I mean, he used an Earthen Ring and a Senjin. And you know there's a Harrison in the deck. Like, where are the other tech slots coming from? I mean,
Gonna lead with Azure Drake.
I wonder. Too soon.
Maybe not. Zero.
I kind of like Zero, yeah. Draw a card. Not the most exciting one.
Yeah, I'm guessing Edwin. Oh, does this leave him vulnerable?
Leaves up at 3-3, and there's the
That's
plus
a
3 attack.
damage. 6, 7, 8, 9,
13.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 4. That's not quite there.
No.
Here's Jones, no help.
Yeah, would have been help earlier, obviously, but
I mean, Shadow Strike looks awfully good on that Edwin.
yeah.
I think I mean, it's a question of whether or not you're going to preparation this, I think.
I probably would and make another Edwin. I mean, there is another sap in Firebat's deck, and it's pretty likely by now that he has it. So I guess that's the worry, but what else is this prep doing? I mean, unless you rip Malagos next turn, and even then, that only matters if you save the Eviscerate.
Yeah. And he's got to clear this board.
Yeah.
It's just too threatening right now.
Still a Cold Blood left in Firebat's deck. But again, Cold Blood does not end the game if the board's cleared. And there is no sap. So
Man of Knives isn't helping.
he needs to find sap. It's actually not quite a lethal push from Fibonacci's side of the board. If Azure Drake is clear, it's only 16.
Oh, Cold Blood, 6, 12. That looks like enough damage to me.
He doesn't have mana.
Oh, he doesn't have, he's missing 1 point of mana for it.
Yeah, honestly, this sort of goes back to a turn where Firebat used his dagger, but that's kind of
Wait. 1, 2, he could use the Shadow Step on the, oh, he doesn't have a dagger. Oh,
Yes.
that's the big deal here.
Well, yeah, it was a big deal, and I wanted to touch on it a few turns ago, but it's sort of a moot point because of the Harrison Jones. So I feel like that's what Firebat was playing around. He needs sap, and there's sap.
So important.
And next turn he has enough mana for dagger and everything. So I think that's just it.
Well, just 412 and hope that this sticks.
Yeah, but
Firebat, I mean, having drawn his entire deck, you're going to get to this point eventually.
Yeah.
Dagger, Southsea, Cold Blood, Faceless Manipulator. And that's going to do it. Firebat's going to lock up the series. 3-1 versus Fibonacci. What a tough game that one was.
yeah, Rogue Mirrors definitely get a little hairy there in the